Football Friday, our first WAC football conference game in 3,199 days. Stephen F. Austin starts with a win, so does defending national champion Sam Houston, who is still number one. On this 20th anniversary of 9/11, we get thoughts from former United States Air Force Captain Blane Morgan, now the head coach at Lamar.
In fact, I flew that morning. I was on a plane that morning.
Plus, we look ahead to some big games this week. That's all ahead on WAC Football Friday.
I'm Paul Peterson, head football coach at Dixie State University, and this is WAC Football Friday.
Welcome to WAC Football Friday. I'm Eric Danner. We knew one thing was for sure in our first conference game since 2012. A team in purple would come out on top. Stephen F. Austin hosting Tarleton at Homer Bryce Stadium in Nacogdoches. Playing on the brand new turf, Tarleton jumping out to a 10-0 lead. Then the Lumberjacks scored 20 unanswered points, including this Miles Reed touchdown in the fourth quarter. That put SFA up for good. They win 20-10. Quarterback Trey Self is the Ticket Smarter WAC Offensive Player of the Week. He was 18 of 26 for 235 yards and a touchdown. He also rushed for 47 yards on 11 attempts. SFA's Max Quick is the Ticket Smarter Special Teams Player of the Week. Quick averaged more than 48 yards on 4 attempts, including a 61-yard effort. On Thursday night, number one ranked and defending national champion Sam Houston playing at Northern Arizona to start the year. Bearcats strike first with Brennan Tibbs going 41 yards for the score. Eric Schmid with 3 touchdown passes on the night. Sam Houston up 21-10 at the half. Trevor Williams getting the play of the game. The linebacker with the pick six. He goes 75 yards for the house call. Bearcats win 42-16. Williams is named Ticket Smarter Defensive Player of the Week. That interception was also the first of his career. Williams added 4 tackles on the night. In Beaumont, Texas, Lamar hosting North American Jalen Dumais to a wide-open Jack Rowe 42-yard score. The Cardinals score 31 points in the first half and roll to a 47-3 victory. Let's go to St. George on Saturday. Dixie State hosting Sacramento State. Quarterback Cody Wilstead scrambles 12 yards for the touchdown. Trailblazers down 12-7 in the first half, wind up falling 19-7. Abilene Christian traveling to Dallas to face SMU. Kobe Clark with a nice game, catching 6 passes for 89 yards and a touchdown, but the Wildcats fall to the Mustangs 56-9. No conference games on the schedule this week, but 3 WAC teams will make their home openers. That includes number one ranked Sam Houston. The Bearcats host Southeast Missouri in their first game in Huntsville this season. The Redhawks lost last week to Southern Illinois 47-21. That will be a 6 p.m. Central Time kick from Elliott Bowers Stadium on ESPN+. ACU also plays their home opener, taking on Louisiana College, also at 6 p.m. Central on ESPN+. Same goes for Tarleton. The Texans will be in Stephenville, taking on Fort Lewis at 6 Central on ESPN+. 2 WAC teams will be on the road this week as Stephen F. Austin and Lamar will travel within the great state of Texas. The Lumberjacks take on Texas Tech. The Red Raiders knocked off Houston in their opener 38-21. That is a 6 p.m. Central Time start on ESPN+. And Lamar travels to UTSA. The Roadrunners beat Illinois last week 37-30. That is a 5 p.m. Central Time kick on ESPN3. Our featured game of the week is Dixie State hosting in-state rival Weber State. The Trailblazers starting with a very tough schedule this season. Weber State started off the year ranked number 6 in the FCS and are the defending Big Sky champions. The Wildcats fell to 24th ranked Utah 40-17 last week. This will be the second time Dixie and Weber have faced one another. The first time was back in 2008 with the Wildcats winning 44-7 in Ogden. This matchup will be an 8 p.m. Mountain Time kickoff in St. George and will also be on ESPN+. Coming up next on WAC Football Friday, we talk with Dixie State head football coach Paul Peterson, who has not 1, not 2, not 3, but 6 ranked FCS opponents this year. We'll be right back.
In the WAC, we value sportsmanship on the field
and in the stands.
We take pride in playing fair and being honest.
We honor the game by showing respect for our opponents,
the officials,
the fans, and our team.
Great sportsmanship is about taking ownership after a loss
And being humble after a win.
We want you to team up with us by staying positive on the sideline.
Because great sportsmanship is what unites us.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
Welcome back to WAC Football Friday. My name is Eric Danner. We're now joined by Dixie State head football coach Paul Peterson. Coach Peterson, how are you doing today?
Eric, I'm good. Thanks for having me on. Good.
Yeah, Coach, thanks for joining us on this episode. This is your third season at Dixie State. Kind of a weird couple of 3 seasons here. You started out in Division II. You played in the spring last year. Now you're playing in the fall. How have you been able to prepare for those 3 kind of dramatic changes?
It's been a little bit of a progression. Our kids have bought in and are excited to play at this level with this awesome competition. And obviously joining the WAC has been a big plus of that. But yeah, I feel like we're just continuing to get better and growing and getting the resources we need here on campus to help them be successful. And that's my goal.
You had your home opener on Saturday night against Sacramento State, come out on the wrong end, I guess 19-7, but Coach, you were in the game all the way. What are some positives that came out when you watched game film on that?
Yeah, you know what? I think we missed a couple opportunities offensively that we needed to take advantage of. A couple overthrown balls that maybe changed that score a little bit. It was 12-7, I think, late in the third. We couldn't execute at the high enough level that we needed to put the ball in the end zone. I thought our defense played really well, and it was good for our kids to be able to pad up, especially in the springtime, and now seeing how much work they put in the summer to be able to play a top opponent like Sac State and compete at a high level. So, if we just continue to get better, and that's the goal.
We had a chance to meet you and some of your players at the WAC football preview back at the end of July, Coach. And Cody Wilstead is a guy, even when we saw the football players from all the other schools, he kind of stands out. One reason because of his height, but he's such a big guy playing quarterback, and he really looks like a Division I football player. And obviously, you're doing the transition from D2 to D1. What does he bring to the table for you guys?
Yeah, Cody was voted a captain from his peers, and that says a lot about what type of person he is. He's big and tall, and he can see the whole field, and he can make all the throws on the field. He's slippery for how big he is too, so he can extend plays. We're still trying to coach him up on some technique things to be able to stay on the football field to score some more points, and he takes it harder than anybody. And so, really good competitor. We're lucky to have him on our team.
You start off the season here. You had Sacramento State at home last week. You get to host Weber State this week. Only team in the WAC with 2 home games to start the season. That's got to make you feel pretty good to kind of get that part of the season. You get to have the home fans and your field there in St. George for your first 2 games of the season.
Yeah, it was a great turnout. It was a little warm this past weekend. This weekend, expecting probably similar. But we hate Weber State. We hate the color purple. That in-state rivalry is always healthy. And, Coach Hill's done a really good job up there. And we've been in some recruiting battles with him. And they've kind of set the standard really high and have an established program. So for us, it's a big opportunity to showcase what we can do in the state. And we're excited to bring him down here on that 9/11 date. We're going to memorialize that and respect all of our veterans and those people that help keep us safe. So it'll be a fun game, fun day to play football.
Well, Coach, if you hate the color purple, you're going to have a lot of hate in the WAC here with Thurlton and Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah, that's good. We hate that too.
Now, Coach, you mentioned Weber State in-state rivalry there. They were ranked number 6 in the country to start the season. Your schedule this year, looking at it, it's a gauntlet. You have a lot of ranked teams. I think 6 teams in the FCS top 25 that you're going to play this year. Did you know that when you put the schedule together that it was going to be like that, or is that just kind of how it came together? Yeah,
it just kind of came together that way. I think Dr. Booth had these teams reaching out and him reaching out to them as well to be able to put together this top schedule. And for me, it was easy. I was like, we're not going to play that team, or come on, bring it. We want to play the very best. If we're going to compete at this level, why not? Why would you want any other schedule? We would want a soft schedule. There's going to be some challenges and some bumps, and we need this experience. So if we want to play at this caliber and be a potential playoff team here in the future, we've got to see the very best. Sooner rather than later, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. Now, you played at Boston College, a major program. You've coached several places around the United States. Did you know coming into Dixie State, did you have an idea that this was what it was going to be like year 3, that you're going to be in the FCS and that you're going to be, a team that could compete with maybe some of the top teams in the country?
Yeah, I mean, there were some whisperings about this jump to Division I, and it was in the plans and process of me being able to come here and help take that. But I mean, our kids have just bought into what we're trying to do, having to have a great culture where they take care of business in the classroom and the community and give back and play a really good brand of football and be tough kids that want to represent our school well. And I think, like I said, I think they bought in and they're working their tails off. And so you put that combination together with recruiting great kids and having a good culture, and we're just going to continue to get better.
We're going to play Weber State on ESPN Plus. That's an 8:00 Mountain Time kickoff. So a little later than the rest of our games, so everybody can kind of focus in on your matchup there with Weber. Coach, now after the first game, as far as the defense goes, you had Tyrell Grayson, 13 tackles. Defense played pretty well. How do you grow on what you saw against Sacramento State this week on the defensive side?
Yeah, just to talk about Tyrell a little bit, after the game, our SID was introducing him and said he was a freshman. I looked at him. I said, "You're a freshman?" So he's just a puppy dog, and he's making plays all over the football field, tall and long and physical. We're lucky to have him. So he's got to continue a bright future. And there's quite a few guys like that on our team that are just freshmen that are playing. So we just keep them working hard. Our defense, super tough. Love what Coach Enna has brought to the table with toughness and adding on a few wrinkles that maybe Sac State wasn't ready for being that first game, but it really helped us be able to slow them down a little bit and shoot. If we could have just got a little bit of momentum and stayed on the field a little bit longer offensively, it would have helped them out even more. So excited about the way they're playing and some good leadership on that side of the ball with Malaki, our captain at linebacker, and Livingston Pongofe had a really good game too, and the D-line transfer for us. And so we're just continuing to get better.
Coach, on the offensive side of the ball, what's it going to take to get a few more points on the board this week?
I like I said earlier, I think we had a couple missed opportunities. We had a couple overthrows on some plays with guys wide open on a post and a go route down the sideline that was early in the game that I think would have given us a chance. That the second one overthrow gets us 14-12 game, and it's maybe a little bit different there in that second half. But so you can't have those missed opportunities when you're playing a good team. And I think we were just kind of waiting to have someone be able to make a play, and I felt like we'd get a first down, and we got off schedule quite a bit. We like 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 5s, and we didn't have too many of those. We had some longer down and distances. So we got to take care of the ball that way and play smart football and control the game. And I thought we are a hurry up offense, but we hurried up to our detriment instead of our help. So we'll work on that for sure.
Well, Coach Peterson, I want to thank you for taking some time out and joining us here on WAC Football Friday.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
All right, that is Paul Peterson, head coach at Dixie State. We'll be right back. This is the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks on the United States. Back 20 years ago, Lamar head football coach Blane Morgan was an officer in the United States Air Force not long after leading the academy to the WAC Football Championship.
2nd down, 11, 7-0 Air Force, first quarter. Morgan going to throw his first pass. Got a man wide open, Newman. He's at the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Air Force.
The year was 1998. Blane Morgan was the quarterback for the United States Air Force Academy in perhaps their greatest season ever.
We lost one game that year by 1 point. And so we were 1 point away from perfection. And that's so hard to achieve.
After winning the WAC championship and graduating, Morgan would be stationed at Laughlin Air Force Base in Del Rio, Texas, the largest pilot training base in the country. On the morning of September 11th, 2001, Morgan was on his way home from a trip.
In fact, I flew that morning. I was on a plane that morning. flying from Florida. I'd been on vacation with a couple of my friends, and one of my friends lived in New York City. And so it was just, I think everyone that was alive remembers that day and what they were doing.
Over the next few years, Morgan saw many of his classmates and teammates deployed overseas.
All of my friends, I mean, all of my friends, everyone I went to school with at some point deployed to Iraq. They were flying on with the night of lights or whatever when all that went off. Most of my friends have been in Afghanistan. I was also responsible for getting guys at our base ready to go deploy overseas.
Morgan would achieve the rank of captain and eventually got into coaching, first at his alma mater at the Air Force Academy, then San Diego State, and on December 12th of 2019, he was named the head coach at Lamar in his home state of Texas.
I grew up, my dad is a high school football coach, and so I grew up just kind of carrying a water jug and being around football. And so it's always been in my blood. And then just, I like being around people, and I love being around college-age kids because they're transitioning from being away from their parents to, kind of adulthood. And so they're trying to figure out who the heck they are, what they believe, what they're all about. And I really enjoy being a part of that process.
Coach Morgan and the Cardinals play at UTSA this Saturday in San Antonio. That does it for this episode of WAC Football Friday. Make sure to check out the games this weekend on ESPN+, then check back here next Friday for our next episode.